Hey, what's up, everybody? Welcome back. Brandon again. First steps of Basement 2.0, and I'm not just saying that because there are literally steps behind me that lead into the basement. I'm here today to do a little bit of work. Now, if you guys have been paying attention, we've been in the process of building this house for well over a year now, so it's been a much delayed process, mostly due to COVID and things that are going on with getting people out here to do certain things, but we're getting towards the end, so I wanted to start the process of getting the gym stuff over and ready. I'll kind of fill you in as the process goes on here. But here I am, the entrance from my bulkhead. We probably won't be using this much other than when I get equipment in, my garage is right around there. So I'd basically just come right from the garage down. That way you don't have to carry heavy things through the house, which could potentially bang shit up, which you don't want to do. But let's say you come down here, I'm gonna give you a tour. Now, please excuse the mess down here because this is an active construction site in a sense. So a lot of the stuff, the final cleaning hasn't been done. A lot of this excess stuff is going to be getting rid of here. I'll explain what that monstrosity is in just a minute. Have some stuff right here, some mats, some equipment, some of the gym stuff that are coming. Basically, when you come down, if I'm looking at it from this side, and I'll give you guys an overhead view of what the space looks like, but this entire section from where I'm standing all the way down past the HVAC system and over here to the racks and power. The plan is eventually to seal that off with a wall. So I'll have a wall from right here all the way to meet back up over here. So this will be all left unfinished for storage and for other stuff for the extended future, I think. I don't know when I'm going to get to that, probably within the first year of living here. It's very low priority for me for that, but that is the plan eventually. I wanted to call out this little guy, which is a dehumidifier, which is running right now, so you might be hearing it. This is a 50 pent high scent one that I got from Costco for like 160 bucks on sale, and then National Grid gives you another $40 off if you get an Energy Star one, which that is. So 120 bucks, this thing works fantastic. It has a pump in it. I have all the water coming just to the condensate pump from the HVAC system. That's really sloppy looking right now. I'll clean that up, but again, it's been a construction site. We haven't actually moved into the house yet, so that's why everything is really messy and dirty. They haven't done their final cleaning and all that other stuff, and I'll worry about that later. But that works phenomenal because I have it set at 60% humidity. And if you actually take a look at the humidity reader over here, it's about 47% humidity. I don't know if it will focus. So you can see real good numbers here. And that's key because before installing that pump, the humidity down here in the basement was somewhere between 70 to 80%. And the higher the humidity, the more oxidation potentially and rust you can have on your bar. So I want to make sure that I keep this area obviously pretty low humidity for that sake. So then we come to this other side here, and I'll get behind the camera to kind of explain it. So this entire area that you're looking at right now, that's going to be mostly the gym. Again, with that wall that's going to go from right there to right over here, that's going to lead you right to the bathroom. So this is the main space for the gym. It's going to be roughly a 24 by 16 area. So I'm gonna have 4 stall mats the long way, which is 6 feet, go from that corner, probably all the way to that corner. And then 4 stall mats that way, being 4 feet each. So that's going to be another 16 feet, which will probably come all the way again to right about down here. So this will be the main gym space for now. The nice thing is we don't have plans to do much else down here in this basement. It's pretty much my area to play with. Again, we're using it right now for storage because we can't move anything upstairs because we're not fully moved in. There are still some stuff that needs to get finished. And then once we can move in, probably in a week or two, all this stuff for the most part will be going upstairs. So it'll leave me a lot of area. So I want to have like a gym, maybe like a little man cave space with a TV and an Xbox if I decide to dust that thing off, couch, whatever the case may be, down here. So some other things down here, I showed you these storage racks on Instagram the other day too. So the first racks that go in the basement are just for storage. My wife actually went to Costco today to stock up on house supplies, which meant she got a lot of Truly and Prosecco and wine. Although I do see she got something for Daddy right here. So a little Daddy's medicine, if you will. But again, just general storage down here for the time being. Our goal now is to just get all our shit in. Our lease at our rental is running up right in time when we're gonna move in. So again, we've just been trying to put all our crap down here and worry about where it goes later. So some other things down here. So I'll be putting stall mats all there. You see them over there in the corner. You also see some new boxes of stuff that I haven't really talked about yet. Some more boxes over there. There's some in the garage. There's more that's going to be coming. I'll kind of fill you guys in on the process of the building of the gym as we go through it. This is just the first initial video. There's a full bathroom down here that is still in process. Obviously it's not finished yet, but at least a toilet, a sink, and there is a shower in here too, which is nice. Well, it's not nice right now because it's dirty as shit, but it will be nice when everything's done and clean. And to explain what that monstrosity was I showed you earlier, it actually connects right to the toilet. Again, because we're down beneath the ground, that has to have a way to pump all the sewage out and the water. So it's basically a pump that's gonna shoot all that stuff up and out the correct way. So my plan for is today, while I'm here, is to kind of tidy up some of this junk. And by tidy up, I just basically mean take all this stuff that is currently in the gym space and push it over here, and then clean the floor and put some of the stall mats down so I can go home and break down some of the gym equipment just to come and put it over here on the floor for now, and I'll worry about actually building it up together later. I got some sweeping compound, which is in this blue bag here, which I actually found out about through Silent Mike and Jim McD as they're building their own gym, 3rd Street Barbell over in Sacramento. Basically, you put it down on the ground and it helps you get all the dust up easier. In the last basement, that was a big issue I had. There was so much dust after the construction, like I couldn't get it up. Sounds terrible. Where I had to wet the floor and like shop vac it up, and I ended up painting the floor to help with some of that. So I wish I knew about that sweeping compound earlier. It basically keeps the dust down so you can actually sweep it and just throw it away. So that's what my plan is for right now. I'm wasting time because I got to get back because my kids are napping and my wife's watching them. So that's what we're gonna do right now. So let's get to it. All right, so the sweeping compound is all done. It's behind me. I'm just gonna do this section initially and then put some of the matting down. And then once I move all that other stuff, I'll do the rest of the basement just because, again, it's a little bit dusty down here. And even though they'll probably cover a lot of that when they do the final cleaning, I would just rather do it now so I can start getting stuff over, just because I'm OCD when it comes to that kind of stuff. So now is time to sweep all this up, and let's hope it actually works. So it actually worked pretty well, and I'm a little bit surprised. I didn't think it was going to do much of anything. It did end up getting up a lot of the dust. The floor is still a little bit dirty just because it probably needs to be washed, but I'm not as concerned with that. I just wanted to get the debris up so I don't have the mat sitting on top of anything too bad. I'm now going to sweep it up, and I'm thinking about this now that I probably should have worn a mask, and even though the sweeping compound keeps things down so it doesn't get up in the air, I have no excuse because everyone's been wearing masks anyway because of COVID, so I definitely have one. It's just up in the car. But I'm just going to sweep this up and then put the mats down, and we'll go from there. All right, so we have 9 mats down right now, but the problem is we have 7 more. It's not necessarily a problem, but the issue is right here where the bathroom is, I didn't compensate or expect the trim on the door to pop out like it does, so it won't be flush. So I don't know if I'm going to cut the mat for the trim, which I probably won't. Instead of what I'll do is probably just bump the mats down so it sticks off a little more on the left. And then I have to put another row right here, which, as you might be able to tell, these poles are going to be in the way. So I'm going to have to cut one of the mats for here and one of the mats for here and potentially the mat for the corner here. So I'm going to have to make a few cuts. I don't have the tools on me right now, so I'll probably fill this in just a little bit, but I probably can't finish this overall with all the mats until a little bit later. So, all right, so I'm back and I'm changed. Shout out to Michael Corey and Obtain Strength, the best gym in Tulsa. Also the only gym in Tulsa that I know about. But I ended up coming back to cut the stall mats because it was bothering me. So I'm going to show you what was done. So over here, what you can see is I cut out around the actual framing of the door. Now, if I really wanted to do a super good job of this, I probably would have cut the inside a little bit more. That way there's not going to be this tiny little gap. But I figured the door is going to cover that anyway. And the problem is if I did that, I'd have to trim like a 1/4 of an inch piece off this entire thing, which would just be a pain in the ass to do that. So instead, that's what we have, which means over here, this stall mat is about a 1/4 of an inch off, which I don't really care about. The other things I ended up cutting was around these poles. I think it actually turned out pretty good. There are some seams there, but I think I did a good enough job where it's not going to matter too much. I just kept it square instead of doing a circle here. I tried cutting a circle in my previous basement gym, but those things are a pain in the ass enough to cut into squares. So I just went with squares here because circles suck. I tried that and it doesn't work very good with a box cut knife, which is what I use right here. So a box cutter is that. Just a couple of pieces of wood to prop it up, to cut, and then just a measuring tape and a pencil. And I cut out around this wood here. So overall, I think it turned out pretty nice. I did end up moving all that stuff back over there. Obviously, that's not going to be here in the long run. It's really dusty down here still because I just got the dust off from where the mats are. My plan is to de-dust the rest of this space once we start moving in and get everything settled, just because tracking stuff in and out, this is going to get dusty. But there is the stall mat right now. So again, this is 24 by 16, and that is the first part of the basement build. And now I can maybe start bringing some other stuff in. So that's it. If you guys have any questions on how I did this or whatever, leave it in the comment section below and I'll be sure to answer those questions.